One. And we are live, baby. What's going on, guys? It's Logan, it's EJ, and welcome to SwampCast, man. Obviously not a Sunday, but we're here on was it? Today's Wednesday, right? Golly, bro. This week's
I
been
know.
flying by. A bunch of information's been thrown at us. It has been crazy. We'll get into all that regarding Lane Kiffin and the coaching search. Where are we at with that? We're of course going to give our week 13 picks, but both those will be at the end of the show. Probably talk about basketball real quick as well, since we just had a basketball game. I believe, a couple nights ago. And we're, of course, going to dive into the Ole Miss recap and reaction and the Tennessee preview, which we got a lot of fun stats, a lot of cool stuff to show you guys in that sense. So EJ, how are you, man? How you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good in the midst of everything going on. Gator fans, we got a game on Saturday against the Vols. And guess what? We don't like Tennessee. We don't like them one bit. They don't like us either. And for some reason, they gave us Kentucky and South Carolina. Trash. So there you go.
Dude, I hate Tennessee. Like I can't stand I want to get a win here so bad because I can't stand the orange. I can't stand Smokey. I can't stand Rocky Top. Like the song's actually not a bad song if you listen to it once or twice, but they play it like 55 times in the game, and that's being generous. And you're sitting there, it's just the same little three chords over, and oh my god, dude, I can't stand it.
Are you going to this game?
Yeah, I'm going to this game. Got some free tickets, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna be heading out there, man. Yeah, it's gonna be some box seats, man. I'm hyped.
Oh wow.
Joshua
Nice.
said, if we actually hire Summerall, Strickland needs to go. Why go after another non-Power 5 coach from what we just went through for the past 4 years? Here's one thing, Josh. I actually, John Summerall, I think EJ's Power 5 or Power 4 or not Power 4, Group of 5 coach is the USF guy, right? You like the USF guy. Summerall's actually my top Group of 5 coach. I think he's probably the best if you had to go that direction with it. But I agree. There's a couple others I'd have, but I think Summerall's my number 4. So you would have to go through a few people to get to him. And also, James Franklin just got officially hired by Virginia Tech, which I know EJ was itching for. And honestly, I was coming around with James Franklin was my number 3, I think, right before John Summerall. He was kind of my last hope there. So, yeah, Virginia Tech's going to be probably at least a 9-win team next year. James Franklin's going to get his boys going, and I think they're going to be a dirty little team in the ACC, considering his schedule's very manageable next year as well with the Hokies. So, my boy, it's a Virginia Tech fan, was really hype about that. But anyway, but yeah, we totally see what you're saying, Josh. We'll get into all the Lane Kiffin stuff in a little bit, but we just got done watching the Ole Miss game. Obviously, we went down to Oxford. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the back. I went down to Oxford, took the L to the Ole Miss Rebels. EJ, what's your instant reaction to that?
Yeah, this isn't really, what most people probably want to talk about. We want, torture ourselves watching this game. But I will say this. It gave us a little bit of hope that the players actually showed up and wanted to play in that game against Ole Miss. We showed a little bit of fight. Um, Completely just disappeared in the second half. Just no adjustments whatsoever. Couldn't score 1 point. Um, but other than that, DJ I think looked better. And here's the deal. I mean, his top 3 receivers are gone. And so it's kind of like no one really cares about the excuses. So I think he did fairly well. Um, this was just a game where the defense needed the offense to help them out, especially in that second half, and it just didn't materialize. The run defense against Lacey and Ole Miss was really terrible, and the third down defense was also terrible, and fourth down defense was also terrible. So, uh, you know, I don't know what else to
Red
say
zone
other and
defense was the only thing that was kind of
red
shining.
red zone. Well, and the other thing was, I think they sacked us 5 times in the game, and we didn't get one sack. And so I'm like, okay, Tyreek Sapp, what's going on? Get some pressure. Trinidad shambles. He's in shambles, and you can't get any pressure on him. So we messed that up. I also think the interception, the tipped interception, that was the game deciding play. Um, we did get an interception from Jaden Woods, number 15, who I hope will be back next year. But that interception was the difference in the game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think we did get the Trinidad a few times, if I'm not mistaken. I know Flowers came off the edge on one. I think Robinson got to him another time. So I think it was like,
Okay, so we did get some sacks.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
we did, for sure. We got a few pressures, but the big problem about this defense is the defense actually didn't play horrible. It was that typical bend don't break, right? They had a few explosive plays, but dude, a lot of it really had to do with Trinidad Chambliss just hitting passes right on time. Like, there was cover beaters, like there was cover 3 beaters when we were playing cover 3. There was cover 2 beaters when we were playing cover 2. There was cover 4 beaters. Like, it was Lane Kiffin calling and Charlie Wise calling the perfect plays in the perfect moments. And Trinidad Chambliss stepping back, great footwork, great fundamentals, something that DJ's been struggling with, and hits, he plants that right foot and then throws a beautifully on time, accurate ball every single time. Like, there was probably 5 or 6 balls in this game, EJ, where it was just perfect passes. Like, the coverage was not bad. It's just it was perfectly placed. And I think we just got caught in some very bad situations and very bad positions. And I do think, of course, we did have a few plays where we just kind of got lost in secondary, got lost in coverage. Big thing you talked about, the rush defense in this game was horrible. A lot of that had to do with the fact that we cannot stop the run with the front 4, which is what our defense really, really relies on, because no matter what, Ron Roberts is going to play a 2 high. And even though Lacey was killing us, we would not get out of the 2 high and help in the run defense. And I understand, this is an explosive offense that we're facing. This is an offense that's going to go deep. And so I understand why you don't want to bring one of those safeties down with a secondary that's kind of beat up and a secondary that's been struggling, but you also can't just let them sit there and run all over you like that. I mean, Lacey getting 230 yards rushing on the game is you can't have that. Right. And he's a great running back, and they did a really good job blocking, but you got to do something to switch that up, and that kind of disappointed me on the defensive side. So going forward to this Tennessee game, to this Florida State game, we're going to have to stop the run with the front 4, and we'll get to that in a bit when we talk about the Tennessee game. But people want to keep Ron Roberts as our DC, EJ. Why? Why? This is like, I understand that Kiffin might bring in some more talent and, maybe a good strength and conditioning coach that doesn't get our guys injured every single week. But I just don't see this defense being a national championship scheme. I don't see this defense really winning, a lot of games for us on a consistent basis. And because of that, that's why I don't want Ron Roberts. I think this game showed exactly why. And then offensively with DJ Lagway, I mean, yeah, look, he played pretty comfortable in the first half, first 3 quarters, I guess. Well, not really third, but there was moments in the third where he looked good. We were moving the ball a little bit to try to tie it up 24-24 when he did throw the interception. But I think a lot of that had to do when, him being comfortable had to do with the great offensive play calling and the really good offensive scheme that they came in with. They did a lot of one quick reads, you know what I mean? Just throw the ball, step back, throw the ball. And you can see DJ trying to work on his footwork a little bit more in this game. He tried to get a little more comfortable in his drop back, but still just once they started to take away that first read, which was a really good defensive adjustment by Ole Miss and God, I can't think of the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss. He was the old Alabama DC. God, it's just slipping my brain right now. Which he's not really phenomenal in my opinion. I don't think he's really a great DC, but he did do a good job taking away that first read. He knew where DJ Lagway was wanting to go with the ball and communicated that to his players and gave good defensive play calls to prevent that. And I think once that first read started going away, DJ Lagway started to freak out a little bit, got a little bit less comfortable, started going back to those really bad fundamentals, and in turn, the offense didn't score a single point in the second half. So I think a lot of that had to do with a good defense adjustment by this Ole Miss defense and DJ Lagway starting to fall apart. But yeah, in that first half, he was hitting those deep shots, the one to TJ, the other one to Sturdivant. It looked really good. But those were once again kind of pre-snap reads that he was seeing and knew what they were going to do. So not really a big improvement from DJ. But at least he hit those shots, right? We saw him early on in this year and throughout the season, him not hit those shots when he needed to. So at least he was hitting them. But still, whenever he steps up, he's not looking down the field. He steps up and he just runs. And one thing you saw one thing you see with Trinidad and some of these other guys is these other quarterbacks is they step up in the pocket and their eyes are down the field the entire time. DJ freaks out, but he did do pretty well on the ground overall. I like that they did use him on the ground a lot in this game. That's something that with Billy Napier being gone has been a significant improvement. Jadon Ball couldn't find much on the ground though either. Nothing too special there. And like you said, that interception that DJ threw, was it a bad interception? No, it's a tip ball. I would like to see the sky cam on what DJ Lagway was seeing because he was throwing, I think it was to TJ Abrams, if I'm not mistaken. But you still can't, if there's even a possibility of it being tipped in that situation. Trey Smack has been playing very well, has not missed a single field goal since that first game against Long Island. He's 20 for 20, I think since then. You have to give your guys a chance to tie the board here and take some pressure off your defense, which you didn't do. And that it all was kind of downhill from there, EJ. So yeah, that's kind of my overall feel on the game. I kind of just went through everything I wanted to go through. Not too much to really dive into here, other than, like I said, everything is just kind of clicking from the Ole Miss offense, whether it was us just getting unlucky and them just making every pass or the scheme not even helping, the run. And then, like I said, DJ Lagway just not doing great. I feel like he had enough time to see some of these open guys because all our receivers were getting open a lot in this game. Abrams got open. He had probably, in my opinion, his best game as a Gator, and that's not just saying the deep shot. He was open on a majority of these plays, EJ, and that was a pretty big problem. So that's kind of my overall feel on this game.
Yeah, and with the defense, it's kind of like pick your poison, right? Like, do you want to get slow cooked in the crock pot or deep fried instantly? So our defensive coordinator, Roberts, chooses the crock pot, just says, hey, let's just delay their scoring as much as possible. We're going to get worn down by the end, but that's just how it goes. I think if you gave Roberts, like Caleb Banks, for example, we were supposed to have him. He hadn't played all season. If you had Banks, another really good DT, two really good DNs, you can stop the run with your front four and devote more people. But to your point, if you don't have that, you got to put everybody at that. Like, I remember, what defense was that? Was it Virginia Tech back in the day? I don't even remember. But I just remember, or maybe it was Florida State with Mickey Andrews. He used to put all 11 players right on the line of scrimmage. Like, are we going to blitz? Are we going to back up? Who knows? Maybe we'll blitz this time. Just do something crazy. But to your point, we just gave Trinidad all day to throw, and he was carving us up early for Thanksgiving. And then, DJ Lagway is just going through the motions. It's like there's no game plan. There's no, adaptation to the defensive adjustments. When he goes over there to the sideline, it's just kind of like, okay, well, maybe we'll get him next time. It's like your 10-year-old at the flag football game, like just sitting there like, okay, we'll go through the motions on the next play, coach. And I'm like, okay, talk to your receiver. Say, hey, look, you zig this time, next time Zach, and I'll get you. There's no communication on the sideline. I remember, Trask and Tebow and all those guys, when the camera would go to them, they wouldn't just be sitting there like, they would actually be like talking to people like, hey, you need to do this. Hey, left tackle, somebody help this guy out. He's getting beat every single play. There's some interest in making changes.
He's in his head. He's in his head the entire time.
Yeah. And so it's just like, whatever. So that's sort of the goal. This is what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's sad to see. EJ, when are you gonna have to bounce out? You're gonna have to bounce out at 5.
Uh, maybe a little bit after, maybe 5:30.
Okay, cool. No, no, I just
Yeah.
didn't know. Well, we don't have to spend too much time on this Ole Miss game then.
Yeah, we can.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's really
let's.
nothing here to really bite
We got
off
some
of.
other. Yeah, we got some other fish to fry around here.
100%. But yeah, it definitely does. What was our, let's see our score predictions actually. Hold up, let me go back and look at that before
I
we
thought they were
do.
pretty. I thought they were pretty
Yeah,
accurate.
I had 24-13 Ole Miss. Final score, by the way, was uh 34-24. I had 24-13. Originally, I had 35-13, but I went down to 24. Do you remember yours, EJ?
It was definitely like 34-20. It was
Oh, so
definitely
you were right there.
something very close. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
something we both kind of predicted in this game, but just still sucks, man. Because we had an opportunity there, bro. Especially when we picked the ball off and Jaden Woods intercepted that ball. I was like, no way, bro. What's going
but we
on right now?
but we this team right now, we have no winners mentality. Like you have to know what it takes to win a game, and we just go out there and go through the motions, you know? And it's not like there's any plan like look at Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. Like that guy, if you're down, he's communicating to everyone. He said, "Hey, we're gonna come back in this game. Believe in me." And DJ is just over there sitting there like, "Yeah, whatever. We'll get him next time." Sack. You know,
There's
tip
no
ball
fire.
interception.
Yeah.
There's no fire. So that's sort of what's going on.
Which is why I think if we do get Lane Kiffin, that's a guy that's going to have a lot of fire on the sideline. I think that can really, in result, give some to your quarterback. Joshua said now there are reports the meeting with Summerall is off. What, like for Florida interviewing him? Is that what you're saying? That's the thing. We'll get into that in a minute too. But like the whole
Yeah.
coaching search, there's so much stuff going on. I don't know what to believe anymore. I just feel like there's just so much. Like 1 second one thing's happening, the other second it's being it's being retracted, and we'll get to all that in a second. Like I said, but EJ, do you want to get to this Tennessee game, man? Let
Might
yeah,
as well.
let's do it. Let's do it, man.
We
Number
still got a game on Saturday, Gator
we
fans. I
do.
know we're like no one's talking about it.
I don't know the last time the Gators had a 3-win season, so let's try to get some dubs here, right? So the number 20 Tennessee Volunteers come to the Swamp this Saturday night. I believe it's 7:30 to play the 3-7 now Florida Gators. Tennessee's favored by only 3.5 though, and Tennessee has not won in the Swamp since 2003. So if that's any kind, I think 2003 was that. Is that Ron Zook or was Zook was 04?
No, that was Zook.
That was Zook. That was Zook. There you
Yeah.
go. So it was before I was born. I was born in 04. So my entire life, Tennessee has never won in the Swamp. And this is gonna be an interesting one, EJ. Tennessee, they have their 3 losses. So I think they were 6-3 before last week. Now they're 7-3. They're out of the playoff. But
Yeah.
obviously, I feel like Josh Heupel. I'm not saying he's coaching for his job here, but I am saying that if he loses these next 2, because they're not easy games, you got Florida and then you got Vanderbilt. It's not going to be looking too pretty. You definitely want to win these next 2 games, especially with this amazing offense that you do have. What's been hurting Tennessee this year is this defense that they have, especially secondary, mostly because of the injuries that's been going on. But EJ, before we get into all the specifics and all the data and all that fun stuff, what's your feeling on this game? Because I hate Tennessee. It's one of my favorite games ever. It should consistently be the 3rd week of September. It feels weird that it's the second to last game. It just feels off. But it's gonna be good to be back in the Swamp and the last night game of the season.
Yeah, at the end of the day, um, eh, I want to say that we're gonna give Tennessee a lot of fight, but actually seeing us win the game, I just don't have that vision in my head of us actually winning this game. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to know how to win, and we just don't. And when you look at this game, one of the things that I always ask is okay, who's got the better defense? Who's got the better quarterback? Well, Tennessee's got the better quarterback. I mean, Aguilar's out here throwing for 300 yards in losses, 300, 400, threw for 396 on Kentucky. How many did we throw on Kentucky? Okay. 393 on Oklahoma in a loss. Um, so 371 on Georgia. How many did we throw? Maybe we threw a little bit, maybe 115. But here's the deal. We we cannot seem to be able to score more than 20 points. So the only way we're going to win this game is if Ron Roberts decides, "Hey, we're going to take some risks. We're going to blitz that single coverage, man to man, ISO, put him on an island, come after Aguilar, force him to throw quick passes that are 3-4 yards, or else he's gonna get drilled." If Ole Miss and Tennessee have pretty much the same offense, if effectively, they're gonna put you on the sideline to sideline, and then force you to stop the run with your front four. We already saw that last week. How did that work out? We made Lacey look like a freaking Heisman front runner. No one even knew the guy before the game. And now he's a Heisman candidate. Play us if you want to be a Heisman candidate. That's the theme. Anyway, we have to stop something in this game. Tennessee is going to line up and they're going to say, "What are you going to do, Florida? Are you going to stop our run or are you going to stop our quick passes?" And if we just surrender everything to them, they're going to possess the ball the whole game, go down the field. Well, hopefully, Hypo likes to score a little quicker than Kiffin is more of a pro style than Heupel. Heupel is a little bit more gimmicky, but at the end of the day, we have to figure out how to dictate some aspect of the game defensively. The defense is the only thing that we have that can win us this game. Then offensively, make adjustments. Okay, we can't run. Throw a quick slant. Okay, we threw a slant in the game against Ole Miss. It worked. Never went back to it for the rest of the game. So, and then is anyone injured? I didn't check the injury report. It's supposed to come out today. Mizell, you breathe on him, he's hurt. Both the Wilsons been out. Is Vernell Brown playing? Who knows? So maybe that's why DJ can't play, because he doesn't know who's the same guys in practice aren't the same guys in the game. So adjustments on offense based on what Tennessee's given us, and the defense just line up and take something away. Okay, we're gonna have to give up the deep pass. Okay, get burned. Okay, we get the ball back quicker. I mean, there's a positive to everything. But if you just let them slow cook you down the field and let the defense get worn out, it doesn't matter. This is what I would do. Single high safety in the middle of the field. Pray he can do something. That would be Castell. Well, actually, Castell, put him more close to the line. He's more like a linebacker. Put somebody else deep. Denson, put him back there.
Or Thornton. Thornton's actually pretty good.
Put Thornton back there, safety net blanket. Everybody else, put him 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Bump and run. Grab these receivers. Do that. Get the gums and everybody. Come after Aguilar. Rough him up. If he's back there with all day to throw, the game's over. The game's over. Roberts, dictate something. Blitz, for crying out. We blitzed the safety in this last game. Castell came untouched. He freaking blew up the play. So that's what we need to do. Now, the other key really quick, because this is really the only thing that I can really say here, I'll give you the keys. Oh, Chris Brazell, and he's going to be running wild on us in the backfield. He's a wide receiver for them. Wait, here's the keys. I wrote them down. If we win, DJ Lagway is going to have the game of his life. 300 yards passing. We hadn't had 300 yards passing since probably the last time we played Tennessee. Hell if I know. We need 3 turnovers. Why do we need 3 turnovers? Because we're going to go 3 and out on 50% of our possessions. Because we're going to go, 3 yards on first down, 2 yards on second down, and then on 3rd and 5, it might as well be 3rd and Proxima Centauri. Because we're not getting it. So 3 turnovers, and that is why we need to load the box, blitz everyone. I don't care if they beat us. They're going to beat us anyway. And then Jaden Baugh, 120 yards. These are the 3 things. If Sunday morning I wake up and I read the stat, don't even tell me the score. Don't even tell me the outcome. DJ Lagway throws for 300 yards. Forget that, 250. DJ Lagway throws for 250. Baugh gets 120, and the defense forces 3 turnovers, and we don't win. Who's our worst coaching candidate? That's who we're hiring, if that's the stat. So guess what? We're definitely winning if we get those 3. If we don't get all 3, Tennessee's winning.
Yeah, no, we actually have very similar keys. So it's weird, right? Because like on paper, you look at this and you go, Tennessee's going to destroy Florida, right? Because Tennessee's going to at least put up 30 points. I'm sorry. They're at least going to put up 30 points.
At least.
So the Gators have to match that to win. Have we, when's the last time we put up 30 points?
We hadn't scored 30 points all season.
Is it just the first game against Long Island?
29 is the most points we scored.
And that was against Texas. Yeah, and that's against like a really bad Arch Manning. So yeah, the Gators have to come out here and absolutely dominate. So Ole Miss, here's a fun fact. The Ole Miss offense and the Tennessee offense are very, very similar. I'm just going to read out a few stats. So Tennessee is 12th in total offense. Ole Miss is 8th. 10th in explosive plays. Ole Miss is 13th. 7th in play efficiency. Ole Miss is 5th. 51st in rush offense. Ole Miss 27th. And 4th in pass offense, while Ole Miss is 5th. So this is a better passing team than Ole Miss, and look what Ole Miss did to us. And a more explosive team than Ole Miss. Now, here's the one good thing that we can take away while looking at this. Joey Aguilar is very turnover prone. He's been that way since he was at App State and UCLA, and it's something that that is here at Tennessee as well. Even in an offensive scheme that is pretty easy usually for a quarterback to not throw it. Like, even if you're, interception prone, you usually don't throw a lot of picks in this Josh Heupel offense because everything's so spread out. It's so easy to read the field and find your one-on-one matchups. You can go pre-snap reads quite a bit and, get your guy. Because if you want to do a simulated pressure, whatever you want to do, that DN's not going to get back far enough in time. You know what I mean? That safety is not going to go out there. Like, they're going to see a lot of holes in these defenses when you have an offense like this. So usually it's a pretty quarterback-friendly offense, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So Trinidad Chambliss is averaging 1 pick every 99 plays, and we got an interception on him, which is an insane stat. 1 pick every 99, that's like, not 99 plays, 99 attempts. It's ridiculous. He only has 3 interceptions on the season. Joey Aguilar is averaging 1 pick every 32 passing attempts, and he's hitting way past that every single game. Now, that's obviously a little bit skewed because he's played some easy cupcake games and did not throw interceptions in those. So my big key is get 2 interceptions on this defense, which I think we can definitely do. If we can get 2 interceptions and not just get interception, but run the ball back maybe for a pick 6 or give our offense a really good field position, that's going to be key. And I think that's very achievable, in my opinion. Because a lot of people don't take this into account. This is the first game in the Swamp since Mississippi State, since Billy Napier got fired. It's the first game in the Swamp,
wild,
which is insane to think, with Billy Gonzalez as head coach. This place is going to be popping. It's going to be loud.
We were there last time. We were there.
We were. That's insane to think about, EJ. It's been, over a month and a half. This is the first game back. Gator Nation is going to be loud. It's a night game in the Swamp, the last one of the season. I mean, Urban Meyer's back in the building. It's going to be insane. And I don't think, and just with how much of a nightmare this place is for Tennessee, I think the Gators can definitely somehow find a way to get it done. My way to do it, my defensive scheme against this offense is, like I said, get 2 interceptions and then hold Tennessee to 3.6 rush yards or less. If you look at some of these games that Tennessee's lost, their rush game hasn't really, and even overall, this rush game is not what I feel like it's not up to par to usually what Josh Heupel likes to have. They do have a couple of really good guys, one being Bishop in the back. Bishop's an absolute monster back there. Just to pull up a few stats for you guys. I don't have it. I had it pulled up. Deshaun Bishop, 119 carries, 770 yards, 6.5, and with 10 touchdowns. And also has Star Thomas and Peyton Lewis below him, which are really good runners as well. You stated as well, 3 receivers with over 650 receiving yards, which is unbelievable. It's insane. So a lot of great weapons out there. The running backs are using the pass game as well. And Joey Aguilar does like to run whenever he is called upon. So my key is probably not going to happen because we're probably going to play too high. I agree with everything EJ said earlier, but we're probably going to play too high if we were being realistic with Ron Roberts. We need, number one, I'm throwing Allen out there, the safety. He played in the Ole Miss game as well. Did great against the run fit. Bro comes in like a heat-seeking missile. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I say take out Castell, put him in there, put Thornton more like the like you said, kind of play too high, but let Allen play that run a little bit. Let Thornton kind of be that single high if you want to do that. Play like a robber look if you want to play a robber, and take away that run. I think if you can force Tennessee to throw the ball, and look, they're going to cook you. There's going to be probably 7 explosive pass plays this game, right? If we're being fully realistic against this Gator secondary, but Joey Aguilar is going to throw an interception. And I think what it's going to come down to is, will the Florida Gators offensively take advantage of that? Now, let's let that transition to the defense for Tennessee. Defensively, Tennessee is 49th in total defense. Their drive efficiency is 49th, while Ole Miss was 43rd in the country. They're 53rd in explosive plays, led up against them as a defense. 31st in rush defense. Ole Miss was 51st, and 71st in pass defense. Ole Miss is 35th. 71st in pass defense is phenomenal. It's very favorable for the Gators here. DJ Lagway hitting a few deep explosive plays in the pass game last week. In Oxford. I think hopefully that'll translate a little bit into this game. Hopefully the Gators take something away from Ryan O'Hara and Russ Callaway can see what worked and why those plays did happen. And I think that, it shows that this defense for Ole Miss is 2 times worse, the pass defense, than Ole Miss, right? More than that. And so you're going to find holes in this defense. Question is can the Gators protect enough and let DJ Lagway be super comfortable? Because get any pressure on him, he's not going to step up and complete a pass. And if you look at the Tennessee, their pressure overall this season has not been great. It's been somewhere around 65, 66 on the year. And so, you have an opportunity to have DJ Lagway a little bit of time. Maybe roll him out to the left away from that right tackle spot, which we've been struggling with so much. Do something to give him time. And I think I think you're sitting pretty and might have DJ complete some passes deep. My key for this Gator offense is DJ Lagway having 280 yards passing with no interceptions. That's the same. He also had 280 pass yards against Mississippi State, which was a season high. I think if he can hit that with no interceptions, I think the Gators are in a really, really good position. Even if we're not able to run the ball very efficiently, EJ, I think 280 with no interceptions, considering we're probably going to get the ball in some good field position with the 2 interceptions that I want to see from our defense, I think the Gators are looking pretty good there. So that I didn't mean to throw a bunch of stats at everyone and I know it was kind of a earful there, but in other words, I think that there is a chance here. I think that this defense for Tennessee is susceptible. I'm worried about our defense and how it's going to be a shootout, and you obviously have to go with Tennessee in that way, right? Because here's the thing, EJ, and I want to hear your opinion on this. You say every single game, who has the better defense? Who has the better quarterback? Better quarterback is obviously Tennessee and Joey Aguilar. Better defense overall, I would say Florida. And so, but in this game, that's going to be the big question. So, with all that being said and that question looming over, EJ, I'm going to pass it back on to you.
I agree with that. The issue though is Joey Aguilar is significantly a better quarterback. It's just not even close. I mean, look at the PFF. He's 10th passing grade out of 300 quarterbacks. They got him as the 10th rated passer. They got him as the 27th best offensive quarterback out of 330. What about Lagway? 248th passing grade out of 300. They don't even go past 300 because if you're past 300, it's like you might as well wildcat the whole game. His offensive grade is 254th. So while I agree that our defense is probably a little bit better, it's not so much better than Tennessee's that it can overcome the disparity between how good Aguilar is compared to Lagway at effectively running the offense. And then you look at some of these other guys that Tennessee's got. Brazel, Staley, these guys, they're catching everything. They never drop the ball. And guess what? If we don't get to Aguilar, that's why I said your best strategy is to line up and bring the freaking house. I don't care if they throw these screens and it's one-on-one and they end up taking it to the let them. Let them. If we get slow cooked in this game, this is exactly how it's going to play out. They're going to roll down the field. They're going to get 500 yards. Ole Miss, I felt like the defense played well, but they still got 540 yards on us. Tennessee's the same way. People don't think Heupel runs the ball. They spread you out, and they pat you down, and they pop you up the middle with Bishop. And he's gone for 5 seconds. And let me tell you something. If you don't have a Caleb Banks in this game, you got Britton Bett who's spitting on people. That's the best chance you got to stop
making
this
the grass
run.
slippery.
That's the best bet you got to stop this run. Now, Pendleton, the center for Tennessee, is actually not that highly graded, which is kind of surprising because Bishop does pop people up the middle. But this Mo Jr. guy on the right guard is clobbering people. So they're going to go to the right. They're going to hand you off the right, and that's why I mentioned Britton Bett, because he's usually the guy that's over there on the right. So they're going to hand it to Bishop. He's going to get 4 yards, and then it's like, oh crap. Anytime the other team's in 3rd and 6, it might as well be just give them the conversion. Just give them the conversion and just start over on 1st down, because we never going to stop. Ever. The last game, I think it was like Ole Miss, it was like 3rd and 20. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not far enough. It's not far. It needs to be 3rd and 30 for us to stop them. And even if it was 3rd and 30, it'd be pass interference. And they'd get the 1st down anyway. So at the end of the day, and because we got to get to the coaching search, I think Tennessee just has one or two too many answers. And while I do think we're going to show up and give it everything and Tennessee fans, they are haunted by us. Trust me. Haunted. We could be the worst. We could be having the worst season we've ever had. They could be having the best. And we'll give them a run for their money. But like I said, the only way we're going to win, we got to get 3 turnovers from Tennessee. Hopefully none by Lagway. But Lagway is going to force it in there, and it's going to get intercepted. And you got to give the ball to Ba. Even though they got pass interference in the last game, and it wasn't even, for some reason they didn't call it. But give him the ball, and we're gonna need to get some sacks on Aguilar. Force him to get spooked, and we gotta stop that Tennessee run, and maybe we have a shot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The scary thing is though, EJ, when blitzed, Joey Aguilar's pass grade's a 90. Like you can't stop this guy. You literally now when pressured with just the front four, he's down to like 70, which is still like a great grade, but he does go down a little bit. So I don't know what to do here because we're not going to get pressure. Because another thing, George Gums is out. He's out for the rest of the year now. He's getting knee surgery, and so Jaden Woods is going to have to come in here and dominate.
It's over. It's over. It's over. Just go to the FSU. Let's start prepping for FSU.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. It is absolutely brutal. EJ, let's make our picks, man. And Kenny's in here. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing, brother?
Oh, what's up, man?
All right, EJ. I think you went first last time, right? Should I go first here?
Okay, you go first.
All right. This is just hopium. This is just me just going full on like, I think this can happen. I think there's just something special in the Swamp. The first game back for the Gators since Mississippi State. Billy Gonzalez is here. First game in the Swamp without Billy Napier being a head coach. I think it's going to be rocking. It's a night game. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be electric. I think the Gators are going to play so well. It's going to get to Joey Aguilar. It's going to almost give us Ole Miss last year vibes, where Jackson Dart, this guy's been dominating all the year, comes here and just makes a bunch of mistakes, and the game's just wonky and weird. There's an energy there. Tennessee is poisoned. They're cursed. I think the Gators win 34-31 in an overtime victory.
Wait, what'd you say, 32-31?
34-31 in an overtime victory for the Gators.
Hey, now listen, if this is a battle of the field goal kickers,
that's what I...
Hey,
yep.
Sign me up.
Yep.
Sign me up. But can we get in the red zone? That's the question. DJ, Tennessee's not that great on defense, but they're going to look like the freaking steel curtain defense against us. So here's the deal. I agree. I think we're going to give them everything. We're going to throw everything out there. We're going to put everything on the line. We're going to say, listen, I know we got FSU next week. We'll after Thanksgiving or whenever we play them, we'll figure that out. We're going to put everything on the line for this game. I think we'll score 24. I think 24 points is great. But it ain't going to be enough. I think how it's going to end up happening, we're going to be winning 24-21. Okay. And then they're going to make a field goal and tie it up. Then we're going to get the ball back. And then we're going to have a chance to win this game. Milk the clock, get into field goal range. And then what's going to happen? 3rd and 2 centimeters. 3rd and a millimeter. What is the shortest distance in physics? It's a plank. It's going to be 3rd and a plank. And we're going to get stuffed. And instead of going for it, we're going to punt it. It's going to be the ugliest looking punt anyone's ever seen. Going out of bounds at barely into Tennessee territory. And they're going to USF it right down the field because for some reason we can stop them when it's any other time during the game. We stop people. But when it's the last drive and you have to stop them, it's like Swiss cheese right down the field. And I'm like, okay, well, at least holding the field goal range. Nope. 1st and goal at the 5. Touchdown, 31-24. Tennessee wins. Now, listen. Maybe we force a turnover this time. Maybe Aguilar has to throw it. And it gets
like Mississippi State.
It gets like Mississippi State. It gets bing, bang, boomed all over it. Bounces off that helmet. The guy has a pumpkin Number 86 is wearing a pumpkin as a helmet. Maybe it bounces off that and we run it back. Listen, guys, we need to be the defense. When you get a turnover, do not fall down. Run it back. That's the only way we score. That's the only way we score. If we get an interception and run out of bounds after like 10-yard run back, I'm just like, just punt it. Just punt. We're not going to score. We're going to throw it deep. I don't even care if it gets picked off. At least you have a chance to catch it and score. So if Woods or Burrow, if you get an interception in this game, I hope you're listening. Russia, if you're listening, run it back to the end zone. Stiff arm, go for gold. Go for dose. Get the touchdown. And then maybe we'll have a chance. But that's how I think the game's going to end. 31-24 Vols, and it's going to be miserable, demoralizing, and depressing. But, hey, we gave it our all.
There you go. There you go. It's going to be a crazy night in the swamp, man. I'm so excited to be there. Either way, I think, like you said, the boys are going to give it their all, and it's going to be a super entertaining game. The Gators always deliver in the swamp, and a night game against a big rival like Tennessee. By the way, last time Tennessee is going to be in swamp until 2029. Unreal.
Oh, gosh. I'll be like 70 by then.
Dude, it's going to be insane. It's going to be wild. Did I miss something with the Summerall talk in the chat? No, we're about to get to that now. Joshua just brought that up a little bit earlier. So that's the Tennessee prep, man. We'll see what happens, guys. You guys let us know what you think down in the comment section down below. EJ, let's go and get to some of this coaching talk, man. Listen, we call it coaching talk, but it's really Lane Kiffin talk, right? Nothing else really going on with any of the other coaching guys that we want to go after. There's talk that if Lane Kiffin does go to LSU or does go to Florida, that John Summerall is probably going to be next in line for the Ole Miss job, especially if Lane Kiffin does go to LSU. That's kind of a big rumbling. Lane Kiffin went and visited the University or Gainesville on Sunday, then went out and visited Baton Rouge, or his family did, on Monday. So listen, it's getting spicy. It's getting spicy. There's a lot of rumblings within the LSU fan blogs and whatever you want to call it, and the Discord things and all the servers, and they're all saying that, or at least a big insider guy is saying that LSU actually offered Lane Kiffin already, and that he's going to make him the highest paid coach in college football, which is probably going to be around $15 million, I would say, per year. And now they're just waiting on Lane Kiffin. So that's what I'm a little. But here's the thing, right? LSU is probably going to offer Lane Kiffin a little bit more than we're going to offer him, I would say. Like, I feel like they're going to keep running it up. I feel like that's where LSU is. The big question is, EJ, and I want to hear your opinion on this, is will Lane Kiffin, does he want to go to a team that's having issues already, paying their last coach and everything going on with Brian Kelly? That's my thing, right? Do you really want to go to a school that's already having issues like that? I'm not totally sure. Do you want to go to a school that's being ran by the governor? Probably not. All those things are telling me that, and also too, who wants to live in Baton Rouge, right? When you can come live in the state of Florida and be here where all the Gator fans want you. And Lane did say it's not about the money, for sure, but all the coaches are going to, say that though. So you can kind of got to take that with a grain of salt. He also, there's also a lot of rumblings, CJ, last thing I'll say before I turn it to you. A lot of rumblings that saying that he has to make the decision before the Mississippi State game. If he doesn't, he won't be able to coach Ole Miss in the playoff. I don't really know how much I believe that. If he did go on Pat McAfee's show, I believe this morning or yesterday, and said that those reports are false, and that I think it was yesterday, and that he did not get that. He didn't have that conversation with the Ole Miss AD. I don't know. I feel like we're going to know, because LSU also said that it's going to be announced. People that are optimistic said it's going to be announced before the 28th, which is next Friday, I believe. So, EJ, how do you feel about this? I just feel like I'm at the point now where I just don't care anymore. Like I just feel like no one knows what's going on. I don't even think Lane Kiffin knows what's going on. I think he's 100% going to leave. I think he's guaranteed to leave. He's a troll, no telling what's going to happen, but I think he's absolutely gone. The big question is he going to go to the NFL with the Giants? Is he going to go to LSU? Is he going to go to Florida? I mean, I don't know. And Rob and them are commenting in the chat here. LSU can offer more. He still can make more at UF. No state tax. That's very true. That's very true. I feel like one thing we can do, EJ, I don't mean to cut you off. One thing we could do is give incentives. If you win this, you get $1 million. If you whatever it is, I think that's the way that we can get LSU in this money battle.
Are you able to pin? Are you pinning some of these comments? I saw that.
No, I don't.
Some of the comments show up on. That's a nice touch.
Oh, on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little thing I had. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. See, we're listeners, subscribers, like and subscribe. We're evolving here. We're pinning the comments now. You guys are great. Here's the deal. The Lane Kiffin saga continues. But here's the thing. You can't out crazy, and I'm crazy. And I can tell you exactly what I would do if I was Lane Kiffin, and he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing. LSU, you fired Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly was winning 9-10 games. How many games are we going to win this year? 3. So right off the bat, you're going to a program where the expectation is win more at LSU than Florida. Florida, you have a 2 to 3 year ramp up. LSU, they'll throw you out tomorrow, and then they won't pay the bill like they're doing with Brian Kelly. That's a terrible look for them. Terrible. They should be paying him $50 million right now, but they're not. But Lane Kiffin, the only reason he's keeping the LSU talk, hey, honey, go to Baton Rouge, make it look like we're negotiating, is to keep Florida, keep the pencils sharpened in Gainesville. That's the only reason. Lane Kiffin, there has been never, ever one smidgen of information or intel from anybody that's close to him that he actually has ever even mentioned wanting to be the coach at LSU. Ever. The only reason this is coming up is because LSU's desperate. Okay, they fired Brian Kelly, who, here's their dilemma. Are you going to hire someone that's better than Brian Kelly? Well, maybe you would if you got Lane Kiffin, but anybody else is going to win just as many games there as Kelly did. And you'll be firing them in 2 years. But for us, I could literally close my eyes, chug a bottle of Bacardi, and I could pick someone out of a random crowd who's going to win more games than Billy Napier with the players that we have. So no matter what we do, we're hiring a better coach. That's number 2. Number 3, these deals, these offers, they're ridiculous. Okay? We're resetting the market, people. A lot of people say, well, what has been our strategy? Our strategy has been go get the up-and-comer, pay them, top 15 level salary, but not top 1, don't make him the highest paid coach, and we can save all this money. How much do you think we're going to pay Summerall if they hired him, hypothetically? Probably $7 million. That'll be 3 times more than what he's making at Tulane. Okay? And we wouldn't have to reset the market. The issue that Ole Miss has right now, which is so, I feel bad for them a little bit. Not too much. They seem to forget that their arch rival, who is on the same level as them, Mississippi State, we took their coach and we had no resistance from their fans. The Mississippi State fans were, oh, congratulations, Gators. You got a great coach in Dan Mullen. The Ole Miss fans are actually putting up a fight. They're putting up a fight. Here's the deal. Ole Miss, spoiler alert, if your coach is a candidate every year for some other job, you're not a top 10 job. Wait, do we have some breaking news, people?
No, 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 no. It's just they brought up a great point. Jimmy Sexton is like Brian Kelly is a client of Jimmy Sexton. Why in the hell would Jimmy Sexton want Lane Kiffin to then go to LSU? That's a great point. I believe that is his. Oh wait, sorry. No, he does not represent. So
Oh, I didn't know that he represented them. I know he represents little Lincoln Riley.
yeah, he represents Lane Kiffin, but he does not represent um Brian Kelly, but him and Brian Kelly's agent are apparently close together. So if you're Jimmy Sexton, why would you want your client? That makes total sense. That makes me think that there's no way he goes to LSU. There's no way. So
LSU
he's not.
is a smoke screen.
Yeah.
LSU is a smoke screen.
I agree.
And LSU fans, here's the deal. I know some LSU fans probably going to, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Florida fans are in shambles. Blah, 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 blah. Lane Kiffin has never, ever in his life indicated he was interested in LSU. We have a whole Google search of ties to Florida. Okay? So this whole LSU business, I don't even want to hear about it. Now, here's the deal. LSU can't offer a lot of money. Apparently, here's these look at some of these reported offers. At least 13 million, 30 million in combined NIL, 6 to 8 year deal, full control of staff, hires, and program operations. Florida's reported offer, and this is Yahoo Sports. Ross Dellinger is giving us this information, by the way. 12 to 13 million. So not as much as LSU, but also, and I think somebody put it in the chat, remember Louisiana has a 4% state income tax. So 12 million in Florida is probably like 10 million in or 12 million in Louisiana is 10 million in Florida. So there you go. And a lot of houses are getting foreclosed in Florida, by the way. So maybe he gets a little cheaper. Scott Strickland has said we've put as many financial resources as we ever have in a coaching search. Full NIL backing. We got the best NIL collective. Ole Miss says they're better. Maybe they are. Now, Ole Miss is countering 11 to 12 million per year, and that offer has been he's currently making 9. That offer's been on the table since we fired Billy Napier. Now, here's the deal. Why hasn't he signed it? Why hasn't he signed it? He hasn't signed it because he knows, number one, Ole Miss was never a long-term goal for me. If you want a long-term goal, then you got to hire an alumni. Why don't you go hire Eli Manning? What's he doing? He's an alum. At least if you hire an alum, you won't have to worry about this. The other thing is, Ole Miss will never have both sides of the coin when it comes to building an elite program, at least today. And both sides of the coin are, you got to have the transfer portal and the NIL, which they have, but you also have to have a natural recruiting pipeline to serve as the foundation of your team. And when you don't have the natural recruiting foundation and you always have to give NIL to get transfer portal guys, you're never going to be as good as Florida. That's the why we had half our team out there. Listen, we had half our team. Everybody's injured. You got to Make-A-Wish kid coach, interim coach. Okay? You're on the road. You've won 3 games, and you're playing against a top 10 Ole Miss team who's in their 6th year, who's apparently a top-rated team, and they can barely beat us. You know why? Because they don't have – we didn't have 3 of our best receivers. Could you imagine if we had Dallas Wilson, Eugene Wilson, and Vernell Brown all 100% in this game? We probably would have won the game somehow, just by default. So Ole Miss will never be at that level where they can have recruiting and NIL. And people say, well, Lane Kiffin doesn't recruit. You don't really need to recruit at Florida. You're going to get a top 10 class just by going to somebody's house and asking if you want to come. You're going to get top 10. So that's why they'll never be there. And Lane Kiffin is very competitive. He does not want to just ride off into the sunset. He wants to actually win a title. So that's why I think he comes to Florida. Now, this whole Summerall talk.
Okay, yeah, I just looked it up, actually, if you want me to give you some insight.
Yeah. Go for the Summerall talk.
Yeah, so apparently about 2 hours ago, On3 reported that Summerall was meeting with the Florida Gators on Thursday for the head coaching job. Everyone was dead set on it, and as of 40 minutes ago, they posted that it was actually called off, and that he is removing his name from the mix in the Florida's coaching search. So my question is since On3 was the, or I guess my whole thing is since On3 was the one reporting it, and then now they backtrack that quickly, it's like, was it actually canceled, or are they just trying to, cover their ass for having a false report, right? Like that's the big thing, but On3 is very reliable. On3 is,
if On3 is reporting it,
it's probably true.
It's probably true.
And so here's the thing, though. If that is true, and then they canceled it with John Summerall, does that mean that they figured something out with Lane? That's like, you know what I mean? Like that's my thing. Like or the fact that they were even, interviewing him. What does that say about how, confident they were about Lane? I don't know, EJ. This is like a whole mess right now. I don't know what to think, man.
In strategy, here's the deal. In negotiation, you have to have a best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Meaning, if we've already negotiated and we've given Lane Kiffin an agreement, we have to have an alternative that puts pressure on him to sign it. What's the alternative? Us going out there saying, hey, Summerall, you're the next, I guess, presumably you're the next highest coach. We just saw your press conference where you said your team isn't even that good. We like that kind of fire. So let's put him on the short list. That puts pressure on the Lane Kiffin camp to say, oh, okay, well, yeah, we don't want them to hire Summerall, so I need to make a decision. Here's the other question I have, Logan. Answer me this.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss is saying, well, if you don't make a decision by the Egg Bowl, you got to make a decision by the Egg Bowl. Or what? That's what I want to know. Or what? Oh, you're going to fire him? You're going to fire the best coach you've had in 52-19? He picked you up off the freaking dirt and turned you into something. You're going to fire him because he's not giving you an answer? Hell. And they say, well, we want loyalty from Lane Kiffin. Well, last time I checked, let's look at the roster. 70% of your roster were players that were never even there last year. They're all from the transfer portal. So none of you care about loyalty when it comes to your own players. We actually recruit people, and Jaden Ball was a freshman. Okay? We didn't yank him from another school. No loyalty. But then I also want to say, before I turn it back to you, to give you an answer to that question, there's an impossible catch-22 in college football right now. Number one, if you coach during the playoffs, which any good coach is going to be in the playoffs, you're never going to be available for another better job, potentially. Conversely, if you're not good enough to make the playoffs, no one's going to want you. So it's like, what the hell do we do now? Well, I'm in the playoffs. So back in the day when we had just BCS, the top two, you knew if you weren't, Ole Miss knew they weren't going to be one of the top two. So he can quit now and go to Florida. But now that we're going to these playoffs, and these playoffs bring in money for the school, well, I want to coach in the playoffs. You're not winning the playoffs. Maybe you'll win a game. They'll probably win a game if they go. But that's the difference between now and back in the day. The BCS, you had the top two. You knew you weren't in the top two. You knew you weren't in the top four. Ole Miss is not in the either. Well, what is it? if they beat Mississippi State, what would they be? 11-1 or 10-2?
Yeah.
11-1.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
11-1. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they still won't be higher than Georgia, so they're not in it by default. So that's the only thing I say. But what do you think about that? Is Ole Miss going to fire him? Like, what are they going to do?
Apparently, the reports are saying that they weren't going to fire him. They just weren't going to let him coach the playoff. But that makes zero sense. As an Ole Miss fan, why not the hell let him coach all the way? And you know, and you want to win a national championship. If you not why the hell would you not let him coach one of your best teams you've ever had at Ole Miss? That's what I don't understand, right? This is a good football team that they have here. Why would you not have, take a shot in the national championship in a year where there's not a clear number one team? Yeah, Ohio State's good. Yeah, Indiana's good, right? But there's not a clear number one that's going to absolutely dominate the playoff. So why not go that route? So I don't really understand. I think that's probably
if they're
false.
If they're saying, give us a decision by the Egg Bowl or else. What's the or else? You're going to fire me?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
You're going to fire, because if you're going to say I can't coach in the playoffs, then you're firing me. So if you're firing me, then you're giving me my $4 million or how many, I don't even know how much they owe him. You're giving me the $20 million and you're trying to go hire who? Summerall? Maybe that's why we did that, because we were like, oh, Ole Miss is trying to hire Summerall, so we're gonna pretend that we're interviewing him.
or here's someone else brought this up in the comments section. What if this was gonna happen and the booster shut it down ASAP? Because it took them about an hour and a half to shut it down. Let's say they were about to do it, and the booster's like, hell no, we're not getting John Summerall, which, in my opinion, I think he's actually, like I said, a top 5 hire, in my opinion, overall.
Well, but here's the thing, guys. All 3 of our schools, we need backup plans. Okay? LSU, I think, is 3rd on the list. I don't think they're second, because he's definitely leaving Ole Miss. So, here's the deal. Lane Kiffin is not going to 2 of the 3 schools. So, 2 of the 3 schools need a backup plan. LSU is the only one that I think is in probably making those plans, because we're all 100% all eggs in the Lane Kiffin basket. Right? And in any remote mention of any name other than Lane Kiffin puts our fan base in shambles. Good thing James Franklin already got hired, because he was the one I wanted. And now he's at Virginia Tech, going to bring back the hokey high. And now, if we don't get Kiffin, which I think is 99% we're going to get Kiffin, but the 1% that we don't, we're screwed. Now, actually, I don't think we're screwed, because anyone you hire is going to be better than Napier of the list. Just don't hire Drinkowitz. Okay?
Yeah.
Drinkowitz, listen, guys, why don't I want Drinkowitz? Well, he's a good coach at Missouri. Well, first of all, that was Barry Odom that put Missouri on the map. And then number 2, Drinkowitz just brings nothing to the table. There's no calling card. There's no identity. What is his identity? There's nothing. I mean, they're a solid team, but at least with Kiffin, okay, offense. When Dan Mullen, okay, offense. Drinkowitz.
Glasses.
Yeah. Dorky Bugs Bunny. I mean, I don't know what else. There's nothing. Summerall. Okay, offense. Goalish. No huddle. Quick strike. There's nothing with Drinkowitz. So anybody but him. Summerall, Goalish. Hell, they said Arkansas is going to hire Goalish. So all the coaches are going to be off the board as if we're waiting around for Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, no, you gotta do something, EJ. It's not great. Here's my final thoughts, because it's already 5:22. We gotta do these week 13 picks. EJ, I think that we're gonna get news before the Egg Bowl. I really do. I think that's that Friday or that weekend, whatever it is. I think we're going to get news if Lane Kiffin's coming or not officially. I think he's gonna stay and coach Ole Miss to the playoff, but I do believe that we'll get news right then and there. If not, I'm not confident Lane's coming at all. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think if we don't hear the weekend of the Egg Bowl, I lose all hope in my opinion, because why the hell would Florida know? Because number one, we spoil everything as a fan base. For some, we can never keep anything quiet. My dad brought that up the other day, and I'm like, yeah, you're 100% right. Florida fans can never keep anything silent. And on boosters and stuff, so it would get out. So why? What's the benefit in Florida knowing but keeping it quiet during the playoff? Would Lane Kiffin get mad and not come? And maybe, but I think we're gonna know. I think that weekend is gonna be the telltale sign. We'll be here next week to talk about it, and of course the week after the Florida State game, that Sunday or whatever, we can do this and talk about it and dive deep into it. But that's my final thoughts, CJ. Anything you want to say lastly before we get into these picks?
Yes, my last prediction, because I like what you just said. My last and final. Lane Kiffin has already pretty much in his own head, he hasn't said it out loud because he's very strategic. He's going to come to Florida. He's got to keep the LSU charades going because it keeps our pencils sharpened. Ole Miss, sorry, you're out of luck. But if you get Summerall, you'll be good. Or Golish. Hell, if you get Golish, that might be better than Kiffin for all I know. Here's the deal. I think that the Egg Bowl's on Friday. It's next Friday. They're going to play the Egg Bowl. Seconds after the Egg Bowl. Maybe not seconds. Maybe the next day. Kiffin will be announced as leaving Ole Miss. They will have an interim coach. Who's their defensive coach? Pete Golding. He's going to be the interim coach. And Lane Kiffin's going to be coming to Florida Saturday the 29th. That's when you're going to hear it. That's the plan. So, well, that's not the plan. That's my prediction. So, that's how it's going to go down. And they're going to, well, he's got to tell us before the Egg Bowl. What are you going to do? Kick him off the team before your biggest rival? And you got to beat Mississippi State to go to the playoffs, geniuses. Do you really want this to... And Mississippi State could beat you. They almost beat us, and we almost beat you. Wait, where's that game? Is it in Starkville? They could easily beat you.
No,
yeah,
it's at Starkville.
Oh, yeah. They can definitely win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you got a bye week, Ole Miss. So... You need Lane Kiffin to beat Mississippi State, who's your arch rival, to make the playoff. So, not too smart, Ole Miss. So, that's all I got to say about that. He's going to coach that game. They're going to win. Pete Golding's going to be the interim coach. Lane Kiffin will be announced maybe that night, Saturday morning. And then Saturday we play FSU. He might be in the box with you in the FSU game. You never know.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we both agree that he's going to be probably the head coach after the Egg Bowl. It just really depends. I think he's going to coach the playoff. EJ doesn't. We'll see what happens. Let's get into this Week 13 slate. You guys let us know, by the way, your thoughts down below. Week 13 slate. Last week, Week 12, I went 4-6. EJ went 5-5. Overall, I'm 72-49. EJ 75-46. You're pulling away again. I don't like it. I got to come back. Need to come back here. All these picks today are going to be spread picks, by the way, so it's going to be an interesting one, man. Starting off at Florida State, favored by 4.5 at North Carolina State. I'm picking North Carolina State to cover here. I like North Carolina, man. I like North Carolina State a lot. I think they're a fiery little team. I think since it's at the Wolfpack's home, I got North Carolina State. Maybe not winning this, but definitely covering the 4.5.
TJ Bailey, is that the QB for NC State?
Yes, sir.
He shines. Wolfpack. Get it done.
Great pick. Baylor at Arizona. Arizona favored by 6.5. I like Arizona's quarterback, Fafita or whatever his name is. Bro's a monster. They beat I think that who did Arizona just beat? TCU or something? I don't know. They just had a really nice win. So I'm gonna go Arizona here. Covering that 6.5 spread.
Ooh, okay. So I actually think this game's going to be back and forth. So I think Arizona wins, but Baylor covers. Arizona by 3. Baylor cover.
I like it. I like it. Next one we have Arkansas at number 17 Texas. Number 17 Texas favored by 8.5.
Ooh, that's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is tough. Let me tell you something. That green from Arkansas can run around and make some hell for them boys in Texas. But I think Texas definitely. I feel like Texas is going to win this game. But give me Arkansas to cover. Close game. 7 points. 7 points.
There you go. There you go. By the way, Arizona, they beat Cincinnati. That's what I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, look, Arkansas is averaging 4 points on every loss. They're keeping every game super close. I think this is going to be another one. I'm taking Arkansas. Did you take Arkansas as well?
I took Texas to win, but Arkansas cover. Close.
Yep. Good pick. Good pick. Next one we have Kentucky at number 14 Vandy. Number 14 Vandy favored by 9.5.
Oh, man. Vandy covers. Let me tell you something. Kentucky, they always look like Superman against us because they give us the kryptonite and then we roll over and die. But against Vanderbilt, Pavia, he gets it done.
That's probably
Vandy,
the smart move.
Cover.
Yeah, it's probably the smart move there. Boley, a freshman quarterback going on the road, but I like him a lot, man. I think Kentucky's gonna cover that 9.5 spread. Next one we have TCU at number 23 Houston. Number 23 Houston favored by 1.5. I'm picking Houston here to get the win, man. They've had a couple of really close games. They somehow come out on top on a lot of those. I have Houston getting the win here. TCU's just kind of been a little inconsistent for me.
Is this at Houston?
It's at Houston, yeah.
Oh, hell. Okay. J. Edgar Hoover. He's the quarterback at TCU. Actually, it's Hoover, but I call him J. Edgar Hoover. Listen, TCU upset. Give me Hoover. Give me the Horned Frogs.
I like it. Next one we have Louisville at SMU. This is going to be a great game in the ACC. SMU favored by 2.5. Look, I don't like betting on Moss, the quarterback for Louisville. Bro throws too many interceptions. But I like that running back for Louisville. And SMU, I feel like their secondary has been a little bit rough this year. I'm picking Louisville to get the outright win here and cover.
Yeah, give me the. Wait a minute, it's at SMU.
It's at SMU.
Oh,
do you think SMU covers 2.5?
God, listen, I like Jennings. They got the better quarterback. Louisville's got the better defense. But SMU's playing at home. Crap. All right, give me Louisville. Screw it.
Good
Louisville, pick. You're going to get some interceptions like you did on Miami and somehow win this one, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jennings beat you.
Good pick. Next one we have number 11 BYU, favored by 2.5 at Cincinnati, man. This is going to be a big matchup here, EJ.
Oh, crap. Give me BYU. Upset. Wait, no, they're favored. Right?
Yep.
BYU by a field goal. They cover.
I agree. I think they cover as well, but Cincinnati's a dirty little team, man. They could easily be like, only one loss. BYU is coming off of a really good win against a TCU team, though. Pretty dominant, so I'm going to pick BYU as well. Next one, we have Pitt at number 16, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech favored by 2.5 after a pretty rough outing. I think it was last week, right? Pitt, dirty little team, man. Were they looking ahead from that Notre Dame game, looking at this one?
Georgia Tech showed me something last week. They were down the whole game. I don't even know who they were playing, but they came back and won. Haynes King. He's king in this one. Yellow Jackets win and cover.
I agree. I'm Georgia Tech as well. Number 22, Missouri at number 8, Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 7.5. Does Oklahoma cover that 7.5, EJ?
Wait, I forgot what their mascot is. It's the thing that comes out on
the Sooner. Yeah. They're little. They got a horse, right? I think it's a horse.
What the hell is a Sooner?
It's a horse, right?
I thought it was a guy with a gun. Or was that Tennessee?
That's Texas Tech. Well,
I thought it was Tennessee.
Tennessee's the dog. That's Smokey.
Yeah, but there's a guy with a gun in the
Oh,
Tennessee
is
logo.
there? Oh, I didn't. It's a volunteer. I don't know. I don't know. What the hell is a volunteer?
There's a guy in a gun and he's got a raccoon on his head. Listen, Missouri, Oklahoma, battle of the Big 12 rejects. Oklahoma wins. They got the better quarterback and the better defense. And they're playing at home. They cover.
I
Oklahoma.
agree.
Well, I don't know. They're probably riding high, and Drinkowitz is probably like, no one's telling me I'm going to be a head coach. Why isn't Missouri forcing him to commit to staying at Missouri? He's on every coaching board for every team out there. You don't have Missouri running around saying, you were mandated to give us an answer, Eli Drinkowitz. You know why? Because they don't want him either. Sooners, easy win.
Yeah, I agree. I think they definitely cover that 7.5. Probably win by a couple touchdowns. Missouri, that backup quarterback they have though, he's just not great. And they're gonna try to rely on Hardy, even though Hardy's coming off a really good game. I have Oklahoma at home. Next one we have USC, number 15 USC at number 7 Oregon. Number 7 Oregon favored by 9.5. I mean, look, man, Oregon has not surprised me at all this year. They have not really shown me good play. They lost to an Indiana team. That's the only really test that they've had this season. Beat Penn State, I guess, in a whiteout with James Franklin, but still just haven't really shown me too much other than that. I've had some rough games, but USC's not the best team in the world either. They're very explosive on the offense. I think it's going to be a really, really fun game. For some reason, I want to pick Oregon. I'm going to pick Oregon with a 9.5, which is a very big number. That's probably stupid, but something tells me that Oregon's going to have the game here that's going to turn the corner, and they're going to really, really go crazy here.
Lil Lincoln Riley is looking up saying, hey, this is an audition. This is an audition for LSU. Oregon wins. USC covers. Close game. Close. Very, very close.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. All right, that's going to be our Week 13 slate. Last question before I let you go, EJ. Would you rather be Ole Miss or UF right now if UF gets Kiffin? Oh, well. Oh, you mean like right now? Yeah, like would you well, I mean obviously Florida for sure. I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, I guess it's like, would you rather be Ole Miss in terms of the playing card?
And then okay.
I think Ole Miss is in shambles right now. The poor Ole Miss fans, we're a great team. We're gonna be really good without Kiffin. Maybe you will. Look at Texas Tech. They bought that whole team, and they're running over people. So maybe, I mean, it's possible. But here's the deal: they play in the Big 12. You're playing in the SEC. You're going to get smashed. Now you got to play 9 conference games. So here's the deal: I'd rather be Florida. You know why? Because if we make the playoffs, we're probably going to be thinking to ourselves, we can win this thing. Ole Miss, are they thinking to themselves they can win this thing? Maybe they are. I don't know. Where's their ranking? They're probably in the 8-9 game. So you're probably going to get smashed in that game, depending on who you got to play. So I don't know. I'm going Florida, Ole Miss. I like you guys. You guys are really great, but Kiffin's gone.
Yep, I totally agree, man. All right, we're going to end the live right there, man. We appreciate everyone that came out here and watched this episode of SwampCast, man. We will definitely be out there. A playoff team losing their coach or a 2-9 team getting a great coach. 2-9 team for sure. Hopefully, we're not 2-9. But definitely,
hey, we're one.
We're 3-7
interception from Barreau.
Yeah,
being 2-9.
That is true. That's so scary to think about. That is so scary to think about. Yeah, I'm definitely I want to be the 3-9 school, being Florida, because we're one coach away from absolutely dominating again. But we appreciate you guys watching this, man. We'll be back next week, of course, talking about the Tennessee game, prepping the FSU, and hopefully some news. We'll see what's brewing out there.
Some Lane Kiffin news.
Yes, sir.
And maybe I'll do a so we play basketball. We play Merrimack on Friday.
Yep.
Maybe I'll do a like a segment, a separate segment after that, just so that people can, if people have been watching, I'll give you a little bit of a preview of how things are going and what the outlook is 5 games in. Last year, the SEC basketball, we were clobbering people. We were beating people, and the Big Ten fans were really hurt. Now we're losing. We're losing these games, and we can't make a three. Anybody make a three? Can somebody make a three? If you make a three, guess what? We're winning the game.
Lee is so disappointing in that sense.
We can't make a three. I feel like he's going to start making them, though. He's Professor X. Mind control. Oh, okay. Before we go, real quick. What is your most powerful superpower if you became a superhero in a movie? What superpower do you want? You only have one.
To be able to close any head coaching deal that is on the board. That'd be mine. That'd be mine. So I get Lane Kiffin.
So mind control.
Yeah, exactly. Mind control. So I can get Lane on a plane over here right now.
Wait. Here's the question. If you can do mind control, can you make someone smarter? Or is it just like you can only control
I can make them up to my IQ, which is not. That's not great. So they would probably be going down.
Well, hey, if you did that for Napier, we'd probably be
there you go. Like, yo, pass, throw the ball. Yeah. Run the ball, man. I love it. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys, man. Can't wait to come out here next week. EJ will, like I said, probably be getting that basketball segment to y'all. Be diving into all the fun stats, man. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Go Gators.
Guys.